Hello and welcome to the GT3 test series. Well, it's round the second test here today at Monza for the Anti-Stall Racing GT3 series, which will become a series. This has just been a two-test event over the past 2 weeks in place of the usual oval series, which will be back next week. Today, we're at Monza, the legendary Temple of Speed, here on Friday nights. My name is Wesley Wickens. I am once again joined by Biggles, my usual compatriot on the ovals. But today, GT3s.
Yes. Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome along to whether you like pineapple on your pizza or not here in Monza. That's the thing, isn't it? I'm glad to be here. I do know this track as well, so I'll be able to at least give everybody, get a familiar feeling with it. Some of the other GT Cut tracks I'm not that familiar with, but discord.antistallracing.com. That's where you can find out a lot of that juicy information. I'm quite sure how many drivers we're going to have in track, but we are getting ready, that's for sure. Getting some bankers in, going around that first turn.
So, last week we had our first test event, which is slightly different than this one. Last week we had 2 races and a usual normal qualifying session of everybody, I believe, got 3 laps last time. Today, different format completely. We have 30-minute qualifying session, open qualifying too, so everybody is out on track at the same time. Now, if you've ever watched Formula 1 and you've seen Monza qualifying, then you should know what to expect, because I expect the same thing today. Everybody backing up and waiting for the car in front to go. But we have half an hour of that, so I can't wait. We also have 21 cars. This could be not only an interesting race, but a very interesting qualifying session. An hour-long race as well, where the cars have a limited 40% fuel. So we believe it will be at least 2 pit stops today. So we've got some pit strategies involved. Somebody's crashed. So we've got a big change to the format completely for this week, and the drivers seem to enjoy it. Open setups as well. I might want to mention as well, not the usual fix that we have on the oval series. A lot of drivers using various different setups today. A lot using the Majors Garage setup, and a few others, of course, as well. Rolling start, 2 fast repairs as well. Damage is on, so that's a thing to note for these 21 drivers to try and go around Monza safely. And yeah, that's I think for now everything. But yeah, they've had an hour and a half of practice too, so all of these drivers are now quite used to the circuit. But now it's time to get the low fuels on and all go for as quick a lap as they can within these 30 minutes.
I'm just curious as well too how punishing this track would be on your tyres, because generally it's not a real punishing track on tyres in the real world, well, and in Formula 1 cars and stuff like that. But in the GT cars, obviously there's a lot less corners, only 12 of them all up, or 11 actually, my mistake, as Curvo Parabolic is one big corner, turn 11. So yeah, so it shouldn't be as punishing as watching the beautiful Oreo car. Just makes you want to go out and buy an Oreo, doesn't it, right now, Jesse?
Yeah, I spoke to a few drivers. I asked a question about the tyres situation, whether or not they'd be pitting for them, because of course they've got to pit twice for fuel. Might as well get some tyres, but apparently not. Apparently they say that they will not need to pit for new tyres during this race. Apparently they will last the full hour.
Yep, there you go. So we're watching currently Adam at the moment putting in his flying lap, 131, I think in the middle sector. What is it, 134.5? Where's he currently at the moment? Around Parabolica here, final corner. This is one you really feels good to get it right. Don't want to go run too wide. He can just really tuck it up close against that inside line, not using as much as a track as possible. Will he be boxing? No, he's going to commit to this. Crossing the line. What's he want to be at? 148 was the quickest time around. 140. That's 1.3 off the bat there. So just 149.3 he does, but plenty more time to find, no doubt, once you get familiar with the track and get a couple of laps in. 30 minutes or so qualifying time, lots of time. And yeah, definitely plenty of time to get some pizza as well.
And some draft as well. He didn't have any draft on that lap, so I think he does need to find another car to sit behind, especially in that Beamer, quite a big boxy car. We do have a big number of cars here. We have 2 Ford GTs, 2 Lamborghinis, a McLaren. We have a McLaren. We also have 2 Ferraris, I think 3 Mercedes. How many Porsches do we have? About 6 off the top of my head, and then the rest are all BMWs. So quite a mix of cars as well as driver levels. We do have a rookie in here, as well as quite a few A licensed and quite high I rating. So we have a massive mix of drivers and cars here at Monza today for the second test, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, just to double confirm, are we going to be having a rolling start or is it standing still start here?
Rolling.
Rolling. Okay, so it's going to be fun. Everybody going to Retroferto, turn 1. That's. I'm sure there's going to be some bumping and elbows out and some paint scraping going on between the cars there as we're currently looking at both of these cars getting a tow. Sorry, sir. We're looking at Danny? Benny. There it is. My apologies. I'm trying to read that there as well.
He was the only Ferrari until Stu Wood has joined, one of the regulars from the Rallycross League in ASR. But yeah, so not the only Ferrari this week. He was last week, and he had quite a battle. I'm trying to remember who was now. I think maybe it was one of the Porsches off the top of my head. And I believe it was Elias. I think he had a real door-to-door battle with in race 1 last week, which Elias is also here. He is not currently done a lap, or he may have done no, he hasn't done a lap yet in qualifying, but he was up there in the practice session. Leon now in the BMW. Is he in the ASR liveried BMW? And he is. The lovely ASR liveries. Quite a few out there. I think I've seen one of the Lambos in one of the other BMWs as well, and I think a Porsche as well. He's not on, I don't think it's a fast lap here from Leon as he crossed the line. Actually, no, it was quite a good one. It's P6, but he is again all on his own, not getting any draft, so there is time to find in that lap. But quite a good banker, as he's obviously that was his 3rd lap. He's still got quite, as he's made a mistake there in turn 1. George in the Williams livery here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I believe on the side, there you go. Yeah, it says thank you, Frank, and that is a real great livery to have on for this weekend. George,
there are some fantastic liveries, yeah, exactly. Well, there's a lot of drivers too, which is great, isn't it? A jam-packed grid of drivers.
We'll it's rammed. Where did George go? I think that would be P10 for George, if that lap counts, but I think he may have gone wide.
On invalidation there. No, that's obviously a beautiful tribute to Mr. Frank Williams, who sadly we heard this week passed away. And that man had nothing but racing in his veins since he was a small boy. And, well, he had a good innings, I'd have to say. Certainly got to see his team be very, very successful. Second most successful team in Formula 1 as well. That's a good little legacy to have in your history.
It's a good life to leave.
Good life to live, exactly.
Callum, who won last week, I believe, in the Ford. Not the only Ford this week, though. He's got the livery, the Oreo livery of the Lamborghini behind him, which is currently on P1. But George, I can't see his sector times off the top of my head, but he is a fast driver, so this should be probably putting him quite up there. I've just seen the first pole time is a 47.8, and that, to me, is a very quick time. What time can Callum do? See, 48.5, which puts him P3. It's a good lap, that. Good banker. Again, no cars around him, so not many people getting much draft slipstream at the moment. We do, of course, have quite a long way to go yet in qualifying, but yeah, still not too many people try and find that last few attempts. Maybe at the moment everyone's just getting a banker, getting a feel for it, seeing what times they're putting on the board. Still not, only 11 cars have put a time in yet. We've still got half the grid to put a lap time in, so it's okay. As we watch Kevin's livery, the orange ASR livery. I love it. It's a brilliant livery, that, in the BMW.
That's fantastic. That's orange. There it is. And look at that. A bit of a spin there, a bit of a moment. Retired back into the pit lane. We shall see that as they start to push a little bit more. The track will evolve in a little bit as they start layering more and more rubber down. So that will also benefit some of those drivers who elect to go out last or I'm sure most of these drivers will be out there last, putting banker sprint laps down. Last across the line generally always is the quickest, as we're current. Johan Hansen currently going over to those sausage curbs as well. Really do lift up the car. There's 4 contact points that connect the car to the track, and they're called the tyres. And if you lift up too many of them, all of a sudden your car he's going to lift off there and allow that beautiful Mercedes-Benz, the yellow Mercedes-Benz, to scoot through there. It's pretty much camouflaged to the track right now, isn't it, in the afternoon here in Monza? Oh, Mercedes. Niels Illerman there. And you can see some parts of the track are really that orangey sunset, aren't they? And other parts of the track are a little bit more shadier. I wonder if that'll actually affect the tyre temperatures, so the track temperatures at certain parts of the track too. Remember, this is a proper racing simulation, so they do take everything into consideration.
I think Jesse may have just gone quicker. No, he matched his own time, didn't go quicker. I want to note that Callum in P3 was going quicker, but he sadly spun into, into Scari. So I'm not sure how. I think he may have just been a bit too late on the brakes, but he was definitely going quicker. So P3 has more time in him, as well as I think people coming to the end of their laps now. A few more people putting some laps in. Where does this put? Second for Niels.
Wow. Yeah, and you see he was really using a Scari. Sorry, Parabolica. Or yes, please. Let's go. Let's see if we're going to producer give us a little bit of a replay. Right on the money. There it is.
Oh, it was on the grass.
Yeah, just at the rear end, isn't it? Just, I mean, kept it out of the barriers, but a little bit of
that's him pushing.
Damaged.
He's really pushing that. If he's managed to catch the grass on the way, and he's just throwing that car about. Obviously got confidence in it, but yeah, too much on that occasion.
Live again, back to that man that's at P2. Now he's just currently getting out of the way because he's got his banker lap in, retired to the pit lane. And I think he's pretty happy with that time for now. There's a tow going on for a couple of cars you can see here at the moment. So they're really starting to take advantage of it. Yeah.
Look at that livery. Who's that? That's
Scotty's livery. Yep, Scotty's got a hook up. Man, I can't wait to see all these liveries. We've only seen about half of them so far, and
I was seeing here through practice, and that was one that I love. That is brilliant. That is what you want. I do very much enjoy that livery. The way the colours that works really well.
It's got the purple in the rear bumper. Look at him throwing that car around. So he's really battling. He's putting a qualified lap, and you see him kind of coming in and out there. That's just a little bit of the lag glitches, I'd have to say. But yeah, see that purple bumper? It's very much like the Aston Martin safety car, isn't it? He's actually retired, I think, from that one.
Yeah, he's gone off there. Okay, look at that. Is that what livery is that? Is that a trying to work out if that's a nod to something? Is that not a nod to a Fast and Furious car? Or am I losing it? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just works, though, doesn't it? That's
yeah. See, he's not that McLaren. He's going through there. It wasn't look like he was really pushing it. He wasn't on. He was avoiding chicanes. Maybe this is just a warm up like that. Afterburner's coming out. Now he's pushing it for sure through the first Lesmo. There's an afterburner coming out the back. I swear of it. Did you see that, or was it just me?
Benny's about to put a good time in from P8 here. He does a 48.8, which puts him... P8. It doesn't move up anywhere, but it's a good time. It's just a 10th off of Kevin in front. He's getting slipstream from the Porsche behind of Sebastian. No, Theo. So he's making a nice hole in the air there. Still only have 14 cars here do a time. 15 to go.
Headlights. 6 headlights in the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, just in case you couldn't see the road.
Yeah.
It's a good way of making people think there's multiple cars coming up behind them, and it's just one with multiple lights.
Can we go on board, producer? I want to see how it feels in this car as you're cruising around, as you're flying over the sausage curves right now. Let's see. Here we go, on board right now as he goes through the first Lesmo. Shitty gingerly. That's good. Spotting the apex there, going out wide, using him as the second one right now, the second Lesmo. This is one you do want to get absolutely right if possible, because you're going to get this main straight down here until you get into the famous and everybody loves Ascari coming up. And I want to see him as he got that bright orange sunset in his eyes down the back straight.
Can't turn too early here. There's big sausage curves on the inside.
blinding
Look at
too,
them.
isn't it?
Look at them
Look
there.
that. Yeah, he's fighting it, and the car is responding over this last one here. Good on the power exit, and then all it basically has to go down to Parabolica now, which is called Alboreto as well. It's two names, obviously, in honor of Mr. Alboreto, the Italian driver. He used to drive for Ferrari as well.
There's
Now
a
he's just
train
gonna-
forming here behind him. He's got two cars now behind him here. There's a slight train starting to form as that Porsche goes very wide. Dio, very, very wide. This is going to be quicker from Benny too. So will he go from P8 to somewhere else now? He's got a 48.6. Yes, P6. There we go. He does move up to a place.
Improvement, nice.
Well, Callum Hawkins is now on a lap coming around the Palaborica. He is going quicker, but is it quick enough for pole? No, he's not actually going quicker there.
Yeah, I might be back. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Sorry, I have a barbecue fired up, so I'm smoking some beef for us later on to enjoy after the race. So I have to just keep checking on that every 5 minutes. So just give me a minute. Yeah, I don't want to
burn anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very typical Australian, as I said.
I'm bringing the barbies here to Italy. Don't worry. 1 second.
Now looking at some laps, seeing who's doing what. So we're on board with Sebastian, which is a love. Look at the. Oh, he's now pulling off. But look at that livery, Top Gear livery, and it's brilliant. It's got Jeremy Clarkson's face all over it, and what more can you want from a car? That is. When I've noticed on the rear bumper of that car, when you're behind it, it's just got Jeremy Clarkson's smug face. So don't be too surprised if you do see Sebastian spinning later after someone decides they've had enough of looking at Jeremy Clarkson's face. Because after an hour of looking at his car, yeah, you're probably going to get to that point. Anybody on some flying laps? I think Callum's on one. As we just watched, who's that spinning? Is that Kevin? Oh, that's not Kevin. Sorry, it's Leon. Leon and Kevin. I'm going to get them mixed up, even though Kevin's in the orange liveried one and he's in the silver one. I'm going to have to try and remember that. Callum is going quicker. Who's going out? Stuart. I've not seen him at all yet. He just makes it in time. So two cars didn't get any practice in, Nick and Stuart, but they're now getting some practice in qualifying. Callum is coming around the Palaborica now. He's going quicker again. This time, will he improve? Does he go pole right to the wall? Here we go. To 48.5. It's not quicker again by a tenth. It's very close. He needs some draft. So Kevin on a lap. Kevin's on an out lap. That car looks gorgeous. Who's just gone quicker? Somebody has, because everybody's name's gone red. Did Elias just go quick? Elias went P4. That was it. Kevin warming up his tyres, getting ready. Does have a car a little bit ahead of him, but not too close to him. So, it's 5 seconds. So, he probably won't get any draft, won't get any traffic either. P9 at the moment. 15 cars out of the 21 have put times in, but how long do you have of qualifying? About 12 minutes to go, so enough time for people just to go for one run. Interesting to see. They do not carry these tyres over to the race. They get fresh tyres to the race, so it's not a case of... well, I don't see why you wouldn't want to be on track, to be honest, if got all the time in the world. Right, as he brakes for turn one, kiss the outside line over the curbs, doesn't hit any of the big sausage curves, but rides them well. Good exit, again, 4.4 gap up to the cars in front of him. So he shouldn't catch anyone. Should be good for the second chicane. Now, here's the brake in here. Does he brake at the 100-metre board just after the bridge? Yes, he does. That's brakes relay, actually. He's nailed that. Round the first curve, don't hit the big one. He hits the big bump, but he's fine. Stays on the road. Doesn't dip a wheel in the gravel at all. That's the lovely liveried Mercedes behind. There's Mo 1. It's a very patient corner. Don't want to do a Hamilton and crash on the inside wall there. I'm being too impatient on the throttle. This one take a lot of curb, but he does. Don't run too wide because it's quite a tight track limits on there. But he's fine, survives. How much quicker is he going? He is 3 tenths up on his previous best. Goes under the bridge now. Here we go. Don't take too much curb on the inside here. You hit the sausage curves, brakes nicely. Clips it, nice. Car's quite settled. Lots of curb on the second part. Through the last, hits it perfect. Not too wide. No, well within the limits. Now, 1 corner to go. And he's flying compared to his previous best. Don't think he'd be getting any slipstream 3 seconds back. Brakes well, brakes hard now. Lovely's on the power already. Running out wide, but not too wide. Turn in, cut across, get as close to the wall as you want. Look how close he gets. What time does he do? Oh, he's 48.7. He actually nearly matches his best time, but stays P9. So Adam, P10 at the moment. Seems like he's going quicker as he goes through lesson 2 there. Nick. So Nick's on a lap, gone a bit wide there through the second chicane. I believe that's literally what it's called, is it not? Yeah. Through Lesmo 1. Look at the fire spitting out the back of that McLaren. Doesn't that look cool? Whew. We're going to see it again through Lesmo 2, I wonder? Oh, we do. Oh, not as much, but he's not taking... Being quite cautious there, not taking all of the track that he can. Maybe just getting a feel for the circuit, learning as he goes. Bad at all. Showing off that lovely McLaren. He is the only McLaren here today. Just hitting flames. Taking a bit of curb there, learning. How much curb does he take there? Not too much. It's a lovely livery there. I'm biased because I like orange and my second favourite colour is green. So that car is gorgeous to me. A little bit of a warming up of the tyres there as he wiggles a bit. Gonna go around to start a lap. A lot of people are on one, so I want to see if is this going to be a fast lap now from Nick. What time does he do? So that was an out lap, so yep. See what he does now as he heads into turn number 1, picks up a bit of speed. Callum does a 48.3, so that puts him P4. We got second, third and fourth. That's a bit wide, a bit deep there from Nick. So he's understeered a lot there, but a lot of rotation in the car, and he's just about kept on the circuit. But he's lost a lot of speed, a lot of momentum coming out of the first chicane there. So that's not going to be the best run through into the second chicane. He's okay for cars around him at the moment. But yeah, Callum now P4. So second, third, and fourth all on a 48.3. As that's Kevin spinning in the background. As he's buried himself in the wall, but that's unfortunate. I wonder if he took just a bit too much curbs, not curves. As Alexis goes P11 in. So a replay now of what Kevin did. Oh, he's lost the rear into the corner, hit the curb, and he's gone. So that was, I think he was just braking a little bit too late, pushing the limits a bit too much there. It looked like the rear had already gone before he hit the curb. So as he comes out just in front of, I think that's Stu Wood in the Ferrari. The lights are coming on and the sunset is definitely happening here in Monza. Benny in the Ferrari, is it? Oh, it wasn't Stu, it was Benny. Okay. Yes, it was, yeah. I don't know how I saw Stu's Wood one. Oh, I see, because I was looking at the Ford GT in front of Benny. That's why. That's my bad. Look, a lot of curb there from Benny. A lot of curb. As he goes into the first Lesmo. So his last lap was his best lap. He's done 8. And he is slightly quick at the moment. And he's going to get the slipstream from this Ford, definitely. Down the straights, he's going to be enjoying that. There's a car off there, a Mercedes. Yeah, that's a it's not Sebastian, is it? No, it's not Sebastian. It's the other Merc. It's P2 of Niels. Now, look at that. Look, who's that in front of him there? Is that Dayton? Actually, I haven't seen him drive yet, but he throws that forward in. Look at that, over the curb as well. Benny over the curb. Really attacking the curbs. I wonder if they're going to be taking that much curb in the race. Kevin in the background warming up his tyres, getting ready to go. We've got Stu in the background as well, and I think Adam as well. So 5 cars in the straight there. A lot of them be getting slipstream. Still going quick here, Benny. Who's he behind again? Dayton. Don't think Dayton's said time yet. No, he has. He's P6. Where does Benny go? What time does he do? 46.6. He goes slightly quicker than his best, but stays P7. Look at this all draft. Kevin's drafting Benny. Benny's drafting Dayton. This is brilliant. That's what you expected. With 5 minutes to go now. Still quite a handsome... a lot of curve from Benny. He's confident with the curve he takes. Say quite a bit more than the BMWs. Still not about 6 cars that haven't set a lap time, or haven't even come out of the pits to attempt a lap time, actually. So that's interesting if they all go for the tactic of they don't want to be involved in lap 1 drama at turn 1, and they're happy to stay at the back. Elias has gone P2 with a 48.0. That's a spin from Benny, and round he goes in the background. Just a bit too much. Here's a replay. I was on board for that one. Does he lose? Just on the curb there. I said a minute ago he was taking quite a lot of curb, and there you go. That's what was his demise there. Just a bit too much curb, really attacking the track quite a lot. Back live now.
5 minutes left. I'm back, guys. So I didn't attend to the barbecue and the coals have gone out, so I've converted over to the gas grill right now. Cheating. Anyway.
That's what we do, so.
Yeah, that's right.
I think to mention, actually, as we're in qualifying, we might have time to mention during the race, but just as we've got 5 minutes to go, as that was very wide from Dayton, as this has been a successful test, and we've enjoyed it so much, the organisers at the Anti-Store Racing have decided to do a Christmas series. So the ASR GT3 Christmas series, powered by Major's Garage, will be coming to you over the course of the Christmas holiday. So 4 races in 2 weeks as well. So it's action-packed, 2 races a week. It will be starting on Wednesday, the 22nd of December at Watkins Glen, followed by round 2 on Sunday, the 26th at Silverstone. Round 3 will be Wednesday, the 29th of December at the Charlotte Roval circuit, a track I've never been to, and I'm quite interested to see how GT3 cars go around there. And round 4 will be on Sunday, the 2nd of January at Interlagos, which is a fantastic track to finish any series at.
Excellent. That sounds good. And what about, is there anything for the most jolliest of livery as well? I think everybody has to get the Christmas spirit, shouldn't they? I'd like to see a ton of Christmas.
Oh, loads of like Santa liveries and
yeah. And maybe somebody gets, a little prize or a thank you, or get noticed for being picked as the. There's rumors of a livery competition. Yeah, something like that I think might be the way to go. I know last year I had a Team Santa for F1 for a competition, for an exhibition event, and we had all the Santa liveries and all our driver names were, Jolly and Jolly this person and Rudolph this person, stuff like that, and everybody loved it. Everybody loved it, whereas the other teams didn't do anything with the Christmas spirit. Why? But that's good. Anti-Store Racing is going to be really embracing that. So Santa Claus is definitely coming to Anti-Store Racing, that's for sure. But is Santa's sled faster than some of these cars? That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, not only that, but as you said, the ASR being quite festive for the Christmas. There is, as it's Christmas, that all the drivers who compete in all 4 of the rounds, they will be entered into a raffle. And the winning prize will be 3 months of the Major Garage subscription. So if a driver enters all 4 races over Christmas, then they will be entered into that raffle. I do believe as well that the championship results of the series, the winner will get a $15 iRacing gift card. Second will get a $10 iRacing gift card, and third will get a $5 iRacing gift card. So not only is it a nice festive feel, but everyone gets you get prizes for winning, but get a chance at winning if you compete in all 4, which is lovely to see. So a great Christmas spirit and some great racing, I believe, to come over those 2 weeks.
It's getting down to the business centre qualifying. Thank you very much, exactly, for that. That sounds very exciting. Just seeing if anybody else is really on a flyer. You can see there at the moment, at the bottom, some of those drivers, they're not. I mean, maybe an improvement to the middle sector for one of the drivers. I think that's Nicholas Ullman that I can see there now, but I don't think anybody else is improving. So it looks like Jesse may very much have snatched up pole position here today in the Ferrari, it looks like as well. No, in Lamborghini, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Lamborghini first and second at the moment there.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see. Maybe that was the way to go. But yeah, coming to the end of qualifying, about 2 minutes remaining. Not many people on hot laps. 16 out of the 21 cars have done times. So there are a portion of drivers that have decided against it, as we're watching, I believe, Nick, yep, which is, he's been doing out laps here, Nick. He's done 3 laps and none of them have counted.
Whoa! Who was that off in the background? There's no brake
Kevin.
pedal whatsoever applied. That car is upside down and into the wall. That was out of Ascari, yeah.
And that's
I
why
hope he's
Nick.
okay.
I'm not sure if Nick's just learning the track here.
A replay of that one, and maybe we could have a look at. That was a heart and throat moment, but let's have. Oh yeah, he's gone twirly even into the breaking point, hasn't he? And just cut through. Maybe try to get back in time. No, that's
never making that.
Oof. Yeah,
well, that would be a big damage repair bill. That one. Watching Nick's while that's
coming
been going
out of
on,
his salary, that's for sure.
Nick's been doing a little bit of practicing in the pit lane there. He's been practicing his pit entry, pit stop, and making it. That's pretty good. Smart idea, as they should be pitting 2 times this race, so it's probably smart for people to learn the pit entry and getting the marks correct for their pit box and the limiter and so on. So that's probably quite a smart idea. But yeah, 16 cars have put times in.
That's what I'm curious about. Yeah, why is it a lot of drivers have not elected to put a time in?
I think that's to avoid turn 1. I generally do. There's about 5 drivers that have decided, you know what, there's going to be chaos. They've already decided in their mind there's going to be chaos. I'll just stay out of it. As it's a rolling start, they can accelerate up to the turn 1, or they can just hang back and wait. I think we might be seeing a few decide to hang back, actually, and watch something unravel, because it's a very tight turn 1 and 2, and we're about 21 cars flying into turn 1. This could hopefully go well, but it's Monza.
It's Monza. All right, I'll be back in a second just to check the barbecue before we get ready for the race start.
The gap for the lead was 2 tenths in the end. It's a very close grid looking at that. Very close in lap times. The top 9 covered by a second. You can throw actually top 10 in that, I think. So it's a very close grid, and that's not even everybody, because there was some, obviously, the 5 cars that decided not to take the... Here we go, I'm going to have to enlarge that. So what we got then? P1, we have Jesse Hallio. I believe that's Hallio. Oh, why not? On P1, followed by Elias, both in the Lamborghinis, followed by Niels Ullman in P3, followed by, which is in, I can't remember what car he's in now. Top of my head, can't even find him. ADJ he was. The Dio in P4, Callum, which is our last winner, in P5. Dayton, also in the Ford GT, P6, so Ford GT row 3. Benny in the Ferrari, P7. P8 for the top-geared Sebastian. P9 for the lovely orange Kevin. P10 for the reigning ASR Rallycross champion of Adam. Alexis in P11. Leon, P12. Joanne goes for P13. George in the Frank Williams liveried will be P14, followed by Stewart in P15. Then Scott Ballum, which was in the lovely pink and green liveried Mercedes, followed by, we got Elaine in P17, Jack P18, P19 for Scott Smith, Nick, which we saw do some laps in qualifying, will be P20, P21 for Jacob Rufus, as well as P22 for Christian Rufus. So 22 cars going into turn 1 at Monza, actually. So I thought it was 21, but it's going to be 22. This could be fascinating. Is everybody on my screen? Not everyone's name is gone bold, so unless people haven't made this start, interesting. There we go. Right, I'm all There is a spinner in the background there. I believe Scott has spun. Yeah, Scott from P16 has spun around there in the background as I get everything sorted to make sure I do not miss this start. Safety car is driving away. Just going slowly, holding them up as he has every right to do here. He sounds like he's gone. I've got the get ready start lights, get ready. He hasn't gone fully, I'd say. They can't overtake until the green lights, but he's definitely gone, so no one can overtake yet. The green lights still aren't showing. And now we've got the green lights, here we go. My board's gone mayhem, but let's see where everyone's at then. As we go into turn 1. It's the brakes, everyone seems okay as we brake. Look at that. And that is quite clean. Wait until everybody gets round turn 1. Still looks pretty clean, and everybody is through. Everybody has made it through turn 1. That is fantastic. The top 2 have got a bit of a gap. P3 and 4 of Elias and Callum. Oh, no, I think it's Elias actually. It says it is, so then why not? They're really side by side. No, P5 and 6 are of Betty. Everybody okay as everyone hits the brakes. They all got Satina up into the second chicane. Everybody seems good in the background. Yep, everybody's still pointing the right direction. They've made it through 2 chicanes fine. Can they all make it through the Lesmos okay? It still seems like everyone's been nice and cautious. Bit of racing happening. 2 beamers side by side, but it's all good. And the top 2 have pulled a bit of a gap, but that is brilliant. Everybody has survived lap 1. So we do have, I think it is 18 cars in the end. So 4 sadly did not take the grid. But that is brilliant. Everybody has survived. Quite close racing. Everyone sort of seems like they've single filed out a bit now, even at the back. Well, maybe not finished at the back. They're still battling a little, but yeah, there is a bit of battle. I believe Elaine has got to go across the gravel. Oh, there is a bit. Oh, there is a 4-way crash out the back. All 3 of Nick and Elaine have had an incident coming out of Ascari. That's very unfortunate. But other than that, everybody has made it through. We nearly had a whole lap there in lap 1 without any chaos. The top 2, are they going to change for a move? I can't see on that on board, but there we go. They seem like everybody is fine. Yep. Single file into turn 1 this time. Everyone hits their braking points nicely. And we are away for an hour here at Monza. The 2 at the back, obviously, they have their quick repair, so they will be in the pits now with Nick and Elaine. That was unfortunate. I think that's quite a bit of damage, actually, to Nick's car there. I think Elaine tried to avoid Nick. I think Elaine is a faster car and, yeah, avoided through the gravel, but then lost it on the gravel and sadly got collected. But well, that's the only incident so far. Everybody else, single file. The pack here in the middle. What's that, P3 all the way down to, what, P9 maybe? Or further, it's further than that. But all single file close together. Dante looking at move, doesn't make it. Benny's fine. Now you have to defend going up to Ascari, but might be right. Quite close here, actually, very close. Will Dante look for a move? Dayton, sorry, Dante. I don't know why I said Dante. I think I'm looking at the A wrong. Dayton, sorry, in the Ford. Sticks behind Benny for now. Look at that. It's going to be a lot of slipstream here. This is going to be brilliant. Look at that. Moves over to the right slightly, then back over to the left. The car at the front here of Callum really has control. If wherever way he moves, everyone's going to follow like a big snake. Look at that. Looks gorgeous. Into Palabora car. There we go. Dayton looks for the move up the inside of Benny. Get a better exit. They're going to be side by side. Which car's fast in a straight line? Actually, which one's going to get the slipstream here? There's flashing from Kevin and Sebastian behind. Benny actually gets the slipstream, which means Dayton has to file back into the snake. They all hit the brakes. Everyone making their markers? Yes, everyone's hitting that brilliantly there. Look at that. All very
to turn 1. Exactly.
Bumper,
Sorry, I missed a little bit at the start. Lap 3 already. Going by pretty quickly. We have an hour-long race, so I think they're all just playing it safe at the moment. Just that one retirement of Kane. Do you guys aware of what happened there with him?
Yes, yeah, there was a sad incident out of Ascari's. That's a move for third there. Who's that? That's Elias, I believe, going up the inside of Callum. People think about going. A little bit of constantly, everyone's bumping. But I think everyone survives. No one gets spun round. Everyone's okay. Here we go, up the inside. Dayton trying to pass Benny in the first Lesmo. Backs out of it slightly. And that's going to be Benny's place. Now, the Porsche of Deo is trying to pass Callum. So Callum's obviously now been jumped by Elias, which now has to try and catch up with the 2 leaders that have got a bit of a gap. How have they got? 5-second gap back now. Well, actually 4.5 to the next car of P2. Look at this train of cars, absolutely fantastic. As they go through Ascari. A little bit of a gap already for Elias. That's very wide. Gap. Who's that? That's Leon going there, out wide out of Ascari. Look at this as the train happens here. Sebastian to the outside of Kevin in the foreground there. Not able to, sorry, the background, not able to get through. Dayton now again on Benny this time. Stays behind for a little bit longer. So we've already learned you have to have the slipstream to pass. Benny's still kind of got that. Dayton looks to the outside. And in the background as well, Sebastian looks to the inside of Kevin. So we've got 2 moves going here. Dayton to the outside, not able to pass Benny. Benny's Ferrari fast in a straight line, as well as the Porsche moving up the inside there. Who's that?
He's committed to it. Yes, he is.
Not fully done the move yet, maybe. Kevin kept Sebastian behind and all of that, but that is now move done. Dio is through. Is through. And now Benny is looking to pass Callum. So Callum's been passed by 2 cars in 2 laps. Will Benny be the 3rd car in 3? Looks to the inside, he's actually getting the slipstream. Deo is defending.
The Fords are working together as well. Look at this. Intention, the slipstream.
Contact. Benny and Callum have contact door to door. It's going to be close out of there. 3 wide, 4 wide. There, it's 3. And Benny and Callum have had side-to-side contact there on the turn-in of the chicane. Both now having to back out and let a few cars through. So, we're going to go have a look at a crash that we've missed. Stu Wood in the Ferrari has had an incident that we haven't seen on camera. So this is into turn 1. Oh, he's missed his braking point there. Oh, he's just
straight through.
He's had to pull off there. Maybe some other technical issues that we can't see. Of course, in sim racing, you can have mechanical issues, just like real life. Something not working with your steering wheel pedals or elsewhere. Now, this battle is just look at the lights as well as it gets dark. So we got Dayton trying to keep. I think he's at the. Who's Dayton's there? No, we're looking at the wrong thing. Kevin and Sebastian side by side. That was what I was trying to see. Just side by side ahead. Dayton's just up the road a little. Side by side still for Kevin. And who's that behind? Is that Adam? Yes, it's Adam trying to slipstream off of Sebastian. And Kevin's a little bit quicker, I'd say, in a straight line. Sebastian's on the inside though, so here we go into the braking side by side. Oh, Adam's going to join in, puts his nose in. It's okay for now. Round the outside maybe of Kevin, gets squeezed on the curb. There we go, Sebastian's through. Adam's now got the line. You have the line here on the inside, but it will turn to the outside for the next chicane. Benny's getting involved as well in the Ferrari. Who's going to come out of this one on top? Sebastian sort of defends a little. Kevin's now got the inside line from Adam. Into the chicane, still side by side. Adam's now got the inside over the curb, still side by side. A little bit of slide for Kevin, but the door to contact, they survive. They're okay. Benny's had an issue in the background. Benny's going slow. Adam and Kevin still side by side. I think that's now done. Kevin immediately on the attack into the second Lesbo, thinks about it. Oh, very close on the brakes. He's actually missed his brakes. Kevin's wide. Kevin's off. Kevin spins. Everybody avoids. Kevin gets back going in the background. Oh, he's just having to reverse. That's lovely. Everybody avoiding well. He's done the right thing there. Put the brakes on and not spun round into the path of everybody else.
Yeah, very wise, very clever, very sportsmanship as well, If it doesn't go your way, you don't want to be destroying everybody else's race, of course. And it's still early days, remember. There is a lot of racing to go, so you just got to climb your way back, put your head down, race against your own times. I'm just wondering if our producer can pull up a track map at all, if that's possible. I'm not quite sure. You got Oh, well, we might not have one. You guys do. I'm just trying to obviously picture it in my head. We do know what Monza. Most of us have all driven around here a zillion times before, even done the track walk. Our leaders now starting to pull a bit of a gap, and that's back to this battle you can see right now. Currently, in P4 has that little bit of a train, a little bit of a, well, he's getting definitely attacked by Low, and that's the Ford. The other Ford, his teammates, a little bit further down. They were line and stern, so something's happened a little bit there. But yeah, you want to get the inside line. You want to commit to the outside line right there. That's where we've seen all those overtakes this evening, haven't we? Into turn 1 and 2.
Especially here we go again then. So what was it Dayton trying to pass Dio into turn 2, well, the chicane, sorry, second chicane, and not able to do so for now. So Benny is also now out of the race. We saw him have a little incident during the battle with Kevin, but he's now out, so he must have pulled off afterwards. And so we've now lost Stuart, Wood and Benny in the Ferrari, which is unfortunate for that one. So maybe some more technical difficulties there. Obviously Kevin has spun around. Kevin has rejoined in P13. My thing's just told us that we've had a pass for, yes, we had a pass for second. So Elias has gone into P2, so he's passed Niels in a interesting place there. How's he managed that?
It must, yeah, and we need a replay. There must have been a mistake there because there was about a 3-second gap between these drivers. Let's have a look. He's caught him really, really quickly here. So
no,
why is he backed off?
He's slow down. Oh, did he go? Has he gone too wide out of the second Lesmo? Maybe that's a surprise if it gives you a slowdown.
Yeah. Yeah, he must have gone off track. I was going to say because he had. You look at him; he's alone, so he's got a couple seconds gap.
Oh,
yeah,
wow!
Oh, big tank slap.
Well.
And that's it. And he, of course, he's had to get his tire temperatures back up there, and that's the reason why. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, he has damage. Ooh. Okay, so what's happening with the damage model on this one? Did they get fixed in the pits? So they're banging it out.
Two quick repairs in the pits.
Yeah.
Back live, and oh, there we go. I was about to say he's done the move there, but Dayton's actually missed his brakes and had to go straight on. The Porsche was very squiggly under the brakes there, but obviously Dayton braked a little bit later, and he just had to do the safety chicane instead, and he's lost a few positions to Sebastian there. That's unfortunate because he was up to P4, I'd say, but just a little bit too late on the brakes.
Absolutely lost a lot there. Yeah, so the Ford was making his way up, so unfortunately he's making his way back down, but once again, still look at their livery here at the moment. It looks like this that driver has all their animals. Somebody's flashing their light up there up ahead. So I'm not quite sure which car that was.
It was Sebastian, I think. Sebastian? Yes. He's got Jeremy Clarkson's face all over his car, which is awesome. But Callum in the bow. I've just watched Callum in the background. Is he at the wall?
Yeah. Does he keep it out of the wall? I don't think he does. That's no, it's the Ford. It's the Ford. Hawkins. This is a little bit earlier because I think he was.
This is Dayton's earlier. Yeah, Callum's stranded in the middle
Callum's
of the road.
out of the first Lesmo, I believe it was. He coming up, or could be Parabolica.
He's taken a tow. This is a big crash here. We go then. Watching the replay, bounces a bit, lost the rear.
Yeah, that's Curva Grande actually, isn't it? No. Yeah,
oh,
bang.
That's a big hit. Everyone avoids him, but he's had to take a tow back. That's
just a little too greedy on the throttle, isn't it? Coming out of that corner, and the tyres are. Interesting.
That was our race winner from last week's test. Now he's in the pits, having a tow. That was a huge hit. I think. Move slightly up ahead, round the outside Sebastian into the turn 1, trying to go round Dio, not able to do so. Tries, but doesn't succeed. He was flashing his lights at him. Not able to pass. We've had another crash then with Callum, so he's down to P15 now then. Still in the race, don't worry about that. He's still in it, but going to be in the pits for a little while. Jonah's just gone up to P8, past Alexis. And they're slightly battling, but I'd say that move's done. Oh, that's a run. That's a very good run here for Sebastian. Bad exit for Dio, and that is, I'd say, move done. The Top Gear car up to P4.
He seems quite happy at the moment. He's flashing his lights. He's enjoying this. And once again, that Ford's tap of Lowe's caught them while they're squabbling. This is also allowing our leader to get 8 seconds up the road still comfortably. This battle is going all the way down to Ascari here. So hold your breath.
by side. He's not going to make it around there, is he? He's going to try it, and he has. Oh, that's a brilliant move there from Deo. That is brilliant.
They all did fantastic, actually, didn't they? They all got fantastic to get through there, and now they're all going to go around Curva Parabolica, and there's going to be 3 abreast, perhaps, maybe 2. It depends if the Ford can get a good exit here on the racing line. Are they going to take as much of the track as possible? That's why they call it the Curva Parabolica. You want to use it. You want to get a good exit, and if you don't get it down here, down into turn 1. We've seen a few overtakes here. Now they're definitely going to. We're going to see 3 abreast in turn 1 for sure.
Here we go. Oh, it's going to be 2. The Ford's just not got the straight line speed as Hawks comes back out the pits now to hang with them. Or is he actually? He's got probably good, quite top end on the brake.
You can outbrake him because this guy's going to take the inside line here. It's going to compromise their exit speed for sure. Look at this. So the outside, I think the Ford, no, we can't. So yeah, they do stay stationary. It's also bring the BMW into play now too. Look at this. It's turned into a 4-way. I was going to say 4-way horse race, but he's a GT horse.
There's a lot of horses in these cars.
Yeah, that's exactly. This is great. I'm going to go into Curva Grande, I think. No, we're going to go obviously into.
Oh, he's braked a bit. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm not sure how to call that one. That was a bit unfortunate there, as everyone's now trying to scamp around. Adam up the inside of Sebastian, not able to get through. I feel like he may have lost it on the apex of the corner and had to brake a bit more as everybody else may have started to accelerate, and that may have caught Sebastian by surprise. That is very unfortunate there.
You do see that, don't you? That third car that's hanging behind that pack sneaks through. I was going to say his teammate's catching, but his teammate's actually a lap down. Remember, he had to do a lot of repairs in the pit lane. Here we go, another battle still. This ain't over yet, and we still have at least 40 minutes of this continuation battle. There's no doubt happening. But we got a round of pit stops and stuff like that to come, or 2 pit stops, as you say. A few drivers really going wide there, but you can.
I want to mention that Elias has got back up to second, even with the slight damage he should have after hitting the wall. So he's managed to make his way back up to P2, carrying a bit of damage on the door. But sorry, not Elias. It's the other way around. Niels, I meant. Elias is now behind. Timing screen updates, but he won't be behind for long. To the inside. Well, they've all very close, but look at that. Elias completely backs out of that one. They were very, very close, but they survived for another lap there. That was good racing between the two of them. Very cautious as well, I'd say. Seeing where everybody is now at. It's quite spread out near the rear of the field, but to be fair, most of the ones at the rear have had incidences. That is why they are there. Of course, Kevin spun, but Kevin's now ahead of Dio, which had his crash. So is Kevin closing on Leon? Yeah, a little bit, I'd say. Interesting lap times. The first place is just smashing lap times in. He's just doing qualifying runs, I would see. He's got a 10-second gap back, but it's very close for P2. Very close to also say for P4. The 4-car battle, or 3-car now battle, sorry, continues as Callum is a lap down after having massive contact with the wall. So, Elias here, trying to get back past Niels. Who's in the pits? Who's that in the pits? Does he make a move? Thinks about it, doesn't do it. Who? P7? Adam? Is Adam pitted? Already? Has Adam already run out of fuel? Interesting. Yeah, he has pitted. So, first actual pit stop of the race, that's not to do with crashing, is Adam on lap 11 of 33, so that would say that he's going to just about make the finish by a lap, maybe. So I don't think fuel's that close, but we'll have to see. If one pits, that must mean we're about to see a lot of the rest of the field pit as well then, surely. Very fascinated by that. What are we looking at? Leon behind Alexis. Pretty close battle. Kevin just in the background after having their spin earlier. I would say Kevin, the lap times is a little bit quicker. Leon and Alexis matched on pace. Alexis just a little quicker, which makes sense as they're both running ASR liveries. One in the Beamer, one in the Porsche. Look absolutely lovely. I know you can't see the car number of Leon there on his car, but it is number 15. If you care at all for that. Going down the straight now into the last corner. Have we got more pit stops? Is that Joel? Who's in the pits there? Is that Sebastian? Or is it... Oh, it's Elias. Yeah, sorry, I thought it was Sebastian, but Elias in. So 2 cars now pitting, so it's interesting. Different types of cars too. That's something to maybe note. That's lovely on his marks. Look at that, right in the box. So that should mean that we're going to have... Oh god, yeah, we're having a lot of people here. Alexis is in. Shona's in. Elias has gone for the undercut. Then everybody else is in. Kevin's in. Oh, we've got a lot. Dion's in. So this is the lap to pit. So the pit stops must work out there. They're literally going to have enough laps for fuel by 1. So there could be fuel saving here done by... I would say done by the leader, but he's been smashing the lap time. So maybe not. Everyone comes out of the pits now. This is going to really interest the grid up now because it's all ever changing. But the leader, surely, if everybody else is now pitting, should pit this lap.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting call. It's got a nice little gap there of 11 seconds up the road there from everybody else. It's been a lonely race, isn't it? Eating his Oreos, that's for sure. Making us hungry, the Finnish driver. Yeah, coming around now, Parabolica or Alboreto. See if he is going to go visit Mr. Jeffrey and his pit crew down there. He is tucking up to the right-hand side, and he is right on cue. There he is. Slap the brake pedal there, 80 kilometre an hour pit lane entrance, my friend. If it is the same. There is your podium that he perhaps could be shaping some champagne to. That's the only podium, I believe, on a track that actually overlays the track itself. A very, the Italians really like to get right into the mix of the Tifosi, that's for sure.
P2 is also in as well, so is P3, so is P4. So it's only P5 that hasn't pitted now of Leon. So where also does the leader come out to Elias as well as Niels? Because Niels does have damage. So Niels will have to have fast repair, shouldn't affect him too much. But Elias is the interesting one. Where does he come out? It's
parabolic in now, so yeah, let's have a look.
Looks like it takes everyone 17 seconds in the box to fill their fuel. Notably, Adam took less time and he pitted a lap earlier, so interesting strategy there.
He's exiting the pits now, so we shall see anytime soon.
Faster car.
He is out ahead. Look.
This. Into the braking, it should just be Niels. That is, well, as they were.
Yes, they are, but I think... Mr. Ellis has actually gained a few. If has Ellis made his pit stop? He has,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but look at that. He's gained a lot because he was dropped back quite a little bit from them, at least a few seconds. So he shaved it by that undercut. Definitely paid off at this point. Oh, we've had a crash. We're going to have a look at a replay from our director.
Alexis, is that? Oh wow, that's nice. Okay, big
tires?
spin, but
it looks like tires, isn't it, for the Frenchman? If I'm not mistaken, he's just got a little bit. The car's just not sticking down there. Didn't look like he went too far wide or anything. It's just no traction.
He's got a bit lucky there, I'd say. Not to have gone too wide and hit the wall. Back live now. Yeah, so that's unfortunate, but at the same time, fortunate because he hasn't ended up in the wall. But definitely cost some time and a bit of tile there. But I'm sure he'll be happy that he didn't end up in the wall on the outside because you don't want that.
Battle currently for P8 at the moment. 7, my bad day, yes. As these guys are like flashing their lights for a bit. It's like, are they going to let you pass? Like, on the freeway at the moment, there's an overtaking you behind a truck. No, it is actually. It's looking like it's all too friendly. Just happy to get the tow, perhaps. Coming back, both the exact same cars, if I'm not mistaken. They are BMWs, so they're even Stevens when it comes to everything but the setup, of course, and the tyres and how the drivers are managing it. And they have the beautiful anti-stall racing livery on it.
Yeah, it looked like quite an easy pass there for Kevin. Maybe a let by Leon. Maybe Kevin is the faster car, looking at the lap time. So, sorry, not Leon. Is it Leon? I feel like it was Leon. It was Leon. My timings is a bit messed up after everyone pitting, but yeah, it was Leon for P8. Elias still just behind Niels for P2. So Niels should no longer have damage after pitting because obviously the quick fast repair, he probably would have clicked that, so the door should be fixed. Would have got the hammer out. So now, can Niels A pull away or bring Elias with him and try and catch up to the leader? That is the important question.
And a leader that now has a 10-second gap once he got some fresh boots on. Really just absolutely...
Oh, that's a spin! Oh, good save.
Yeah. Very, very good save. Very impressive. Good job. As we're just getting close to that halfway point through the race as well. And still looking like the Finnish driver is flying away with that, but the Norwegian driver in P2. So the Scandinavians are really enjoying this track currently at the moment.
Did anything happen to George? Have we got anything? Because I've just noticed George is sadly out of the race in the Frank Williams car. And I'm not sure if he went. I'm pretty certain he went into the pits. I'm not sure if he's just retired once in the pits or he had an issue. It's a question, but so we have a replay of George. I want to know what's happened here. So I believe he's hit the big curbs, and it's just spun him round into the other wall, slightly into the other wall.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
A little bit of pain, but is that just decided for a retirement, or is it in the pits right now?
Maybe.
Fixed?
Yeah, he hit the big curbs, so maybe could have been some floor damage or anything with hitting those massive curves and flying through the air. But sadly, he's out now.
So Elias dropped a little bit back now from that pit lane, that earlier pit lane where he kind of took a little bit of the advantage. The German driver right now flying just to try to keep the Mercedes.
We got then P10 battle then. See what happens here. Theo after, being spun, I would say, in the second chicane, now trying to pass Alexis. Looks to the inside, very close behind, up the inside, brakes the same, they're both in a Porsche, but he has the inside line, and he is through into P10 now, making his way back up the field, still with 32 minutes left of the race. See how high up he can get after his unfortunate incident earlier in the race. Up until then, he was running pretty well. Does have some good pace.
Plenty of time to go, exactly. Now, George out there, thank you very much for the racing. Thank you very much for that lovely livery in honour of Mr. Frank Williams. He said he spun. He was too far behind that. Heading home tomorrow, so needs to pack his stuff up. Thank you very much for contributing for our road racing series at Any Store Racing, George. Good looking forward to see you again, mate. Yep, be safe. Pack up your stuff, heading home, obviously. Home somewhere, but at home is where the heart is. So, yep, get back home safely, my friend, and we'll see you on track for the next race.
Made a mistake, sorry. I've just seen that they've changed order here with Dayton and Elias. Was there a mistake from Elias, or was that just Dayton having the pace? Because Elias was, I'd say, comfortable. He wasn't too close, so there must have been a mistake in that lap. I think the lap, so he did a 55. Yeah, so it was a 6-second mistake. Here we go then. We're going to see the replay of Elias there. 6-second mistake. What'd he do? Oh no, is he gonna lose it in Parabolica as well?
In Parabolica to lose it. Yeah.
Rear end just goes just like Alexis. It was Alexis, wasn't it, that spun earlier?
It was exactly. Same place, carbon copy.
Very similar. Now, obviously, because of that, he's got no speed off the last corner, and yeah, the Dayton will just take P3 there, and nothing he could do about it.
Going back live again. Now, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? In that turn 1, I wouldn't want to be sitting in the grandstand when those lights are blinding you. So get into that turn 1 of Rettifilio. Maybe one day I might get that right. But currently, we're not looking at Rettifilio. We're looking at the drivers go through. Here's that corner. Rogetta. So Elias is catching now. He's
Bit of a train happening here too. Sebastian just behind them, and then behind that is Adam. So quite close together. If these two start the battle, Sebastian will be on them like a fly to a light, or maybe a moth to light. Well, flies go to light too, but more of a moth. Which I feel like there'd be quite a few now. The lights are on the cars. Imagine that, a moth trying to keep up with one of these cars on the straight. That'd be quite fun to see. I'd like to see the science behind that. How fast can a moth fly?
Well, the sun's setting. The sun is definitely setting here in Monza. As you can see, we're almost getting into pitch black evening racing. Well, only relying on the car headlights, of course, because there is no trackside lighting here in Italy, like what you'll see in Jeddah and stuff like that this weekend. Still, our race leaders pull a 12-second gap. Still very, very comfortable, but this is currently the battle for P3 with these cars starting to form. You've also got the Merc just 1 second down the road as well, so he can definitely come into play. You can see him there.
The fastest moth recorded is 37 miles per hour. So they're not going to keep up with these cars down the straight. That might be able to keep up with you as you're driving down town, but that is. How did they let that out? Did they? Who's got some policeman standing at the side of the road, just like
they would use a speedometer kind of thing, and they would have put a laser one. They would have pointed at it, and they would have. Trust me, man. Some of these biologists have nothing better to do.
Who gave them the funding for that? I want to know how
sit there and work it out. Trust me,
is...
mosquitoes would have been calculated. Everything would have been calculated. Plus, too, there's probably some sort of scientific calculation.
I would like someone
they'd measure the distance.
Out.
They'd measure the distance that it travels from one location to another, and then work out, obviously, its peak.
What is the fastest flying insect now? I would like to work that out before the end of this.
That's a good one, actually. That's one for the Twitch. Let's leave that for the Twitch to figure that one out first. I think I might have an idea, but I'm not going to mention it just yet. Maybe.
Oh, what do you think?
I'm not going to say just yet.
Okay.
So you said insect, so it's not a bird.
Oh, not birds. No, we're not gonna. Because I'm pretty certain the bird is a hawk, isn't it?
Yeah, falcon actually. I think falcon's
the fastest, isn't it? I don't know. Unless you count an airplane.
No, it's not living.
Depends who you ask.
Might have living souls on board, but the machine itself. Yeah, fastest insect. Very interesting. I think you'd have to go around like wasps and things like that, right? Or
yeah, that might be.
Those ones that are pains that eat things. What are those ones? Loctus, stuff like that. They fly. They go pretty quick. Dragonflies?
Oh no, I don't think. Well,
that's what George is saying out there. Or an ant on a plane. Yeah, that's true.
Ant on a plane.
There was nothing mentioned to say specifically if it had to be under its own power. Okay, that's right. Ant on the space shuttle. There you go. An ant on a rocket. Yeah. Oh, we had the speed 145 kilometers per hour, guys. So that's
how fast is that in miles per hour? Because that means nothing to me.
80, 90, about 100 actually.
Wow.
Probably about 100 mile per hour. That'd be about right.
Flashing of the lights there from Sebastian. Just keeping Elias on his toes. Elias also flashing his lights to Dayton. So a little bit of a light show down the main straight. Yeah, Sebastian 4/10 quicker on that last lap, so the gap is coming down to Elias, so could have a battle for fourth on our hands shortly.
Does he take care of his tyres a little bit more? Has he just played that strategy game a bit
Elias
better?
is coming off the pace a bit, isn't he? Think about it. He was in P2, and after the pit stop was up in P3, but now, after that mistake, might not have the exact same pace as he did earlier in the race.
Are you allowed to use your high beams in the car behind, like in the motorway? You know, it's respectful not to have your high beams on when you're in a car behind. It blinds the
I think
drivers.
it's a gentleman's agreement, isn't it? Just to not fully, just full beam them constantly. There you go.
Yeah, George, you didn't say before. Yeah, I was sorry for your race, but you said you're packing. Were you packing to head home? Were you heading back home from a business trip or from a holiday or something? Let us know, mate.
Is he taking the ant on the plane? That is the
Are you
question.
taking the ant on the plane? Exactly, George. Or maybe on a bullet train as well. That's
they're
pretty
pretty
damn
quick.
quick. So
Sadly, we lost the 2 Ferraris in the race, 1 McLaren, 1 Ford GT, and 1 BMW, sadly. What we lost, we did have 22 cars register for the qualifying session. We had 18 take the start, sadly, for having to...
we had 19, didn't we? Or
might have been 19, actually. Might have been in the end. I know we had a few not able to take the starting grid, which is a shame, but I'm sure they will be back for the winter series.
Yes. Well, at least the Italians do have an Italian manufacturer still in here with the Lamborghini, because I thought there for a second it would be... I wouldn't want to be down there with the Tifosi riding if another manufacturer wins this race, but they still obviously have the Lamborghinis in there, so they got lots of Lamborghinis actually. I think 5 of them, maybe 4 of them still in this race.
So
one leading the race, more importantly.
Elias and Sebastian both massively just picked up their speed there on that last lap. They both, I think Elias just puts his personal best for the race in after we said he had lost some pace. There you go, proving us wrong. And Sebastian beat him by 1/10 of a second. So they are going for it here. They're actually just quicker than Dayton ahead of them. So they're on the pace. They're actually a lot quicker than P2. They're matching P1 at the moment, but he's already got a nice gap back to them. So they are flying here. They are really pushing each other to the limit.
Yeah, they should be, mate. These are some of the best drivers in the world, especially in iRacing, and they're going to prove it to us here today. Now, George said, well, he's heading back to his parents for Christmas because university's finished for the semester. Good on you, mate. Go visit the parents and sit around and sing Christmas carols around the Christmas tree, or whatever you like to do for your Christmas celebrations with your family. That's the main thing, hanging out with family. What are you studying too, by the way, at university?
Does that mean we won't have George for the Winter Series? I just noticed on one side of Sebastian's car it says, I can't remember what it says, but one side it says power for Clarkson, and the other side, I'm not sure what it actually says, as he's now powering past Elias down the back straight here, into P4, turns in, he's a car length ahead, just about. Elias will get the slipstream down the main straight, or maybe not, they're going to be side by side out of the Palabroca. Oh, just about ahead. Elias feeds into P5. Here we go then. Elias now on the back of him. To the right.
Oh yeah, they're going for a tooth and nail here at the moment, aren't they? This is going to be classic into turn 1. We love it. Rettifilio.
Done. Brilliant.
Job done. Lick the step and send it, as Daniel Ricciardo would like to say, but still early days, lots of racing to go. As I said, you get blinded if you stand that grandstand. That's the reason why there's nobody in that grandstand, because that's all you get to see is car headlights as they scribble through there. Scrabble through there. Sun's still slowly setting here. And George did say he's a motorsport engineering he's studying. Fantastic. Well, you're in the right field of business, my friend. Getting a feel for the car and iRacing driving. And he said he will be in the Christmas series because his dad has a better rig than he does.
Oh, right. Brilliant.
A car off in the background. Who is that? They're going, oh, they're going to keep it out of the wall. I couldn't quite see. Maybe, well, definitely our producer will have a replay of that one as we're still focusing on this battle.
Was it Adam? Did Adam...
Couldn't quite see. I just saw 2 headlights. That's the only problem with nighttime racing. Very different.
Scott.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, it was this. No, it was. Yeah, there it is. I think. No, there was another one that came back.
Good save.
Yeah,
good save there.
Yeah, I think it was coming down into. Was it out of the second Lesmo? No. Yeah, in Scurry. It's a Scurry, I'm sure. It was coming out of a Scurry, that's right, because we saw him go down before Parabolica. Yeah, this is coming up here. We're all watching a replay, remember, too, guys, of what happened before. We're just trying to see who that car was. that went a little twirly-whirly, probably hit the sausage curb right and went boom up in the air. We've seen that before a few times. Is this it? No, I think it was behind them. Yeah, anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yes, Theo just passed Leon for P9 down the back straight after the second Lesmo. Quite a straightforward pass down the straight, but Theo now up to P9. Adam. So Adam's pitted first again. I noticed last time he pitted a lap early, he also was a second quicker in the pit stops in the box. So he put less fuel in and he's pitted a lap early. So now he's going to have to be in here for longer. Let's see. How long is he in the pit box for? 16 seconds, 17 seconds. Yeah, he's gone in for longer now. Here we go. 19, 20. A lot longer. 21, 22. He's still in there. He's in for quite a long time here, Adam. I wonder if he's changing tyres. Yeah, the car was in the air. I'm certain he's changed tyres. He was in there for 31 seconds. When they were pitting earlier, they were doing 17 or 18 seconds in the box. He was in there for 31 and the car was in the air. So Adam, more fuel, new boots, to the end. Yeah, dead on. That's where he's going
get on with it right now. Here we go. Yeah, exactly. So there's a battle for P4 currently at the moment. He set the dummy in there, didn't fall for it. You're going to have to get through here, remember. And that was, is that Retifilio? Yes, it is, I believe. And then they're going to climb their way up into the Lesmos now, first of the Lesmos. We've seen a few overtakes in the Lesmos, so it is very much possible. Are they going to be thinking about it? No, it's too far down for the Lesmos. I get a little bit so confused. This is Parabolica. Yeah, that's it. That was Ascari, actually. Sorry. It's so dark now, isn't it? It's very difficult to see. It's very difficult for the drivers in these conditions as well, no doubt. I don't know if you want to go on board with that car in P5 to see how it looks from him. And because, you know, it's very hard to see your braking board markers, aren't you, when you've got a car right in your front of you. Look at that. So look at the visibility it has. Now you can see if you can spot the braking points to the left, the braking markers, as you go into turn one. You can barely see them. Certainly going to follow it through there as Jamie will be staring at you from the rear of the car up ahead the whole time. And then now you're going to... Well, it's a lot of glow in the car too. It's not a massive amount of glow coming from his steering wheel on top of that, as well as his little display screen, just like Williams kind of thing. The Williams F1 have that behind the steering wheel.
I wonder if he has dark mode. Also, when I clarify, you're looking at the back of... oh no, is that... Yeah, he's pulling to the side here.
I think he's just led through, yeah, for sure. Into the first Lesmo. He has.
Has he run out of fuel? Surely not.
Or maybe fuel saving. Remember, yeah, that's it. As a full racing simulation, there's a lot of things at play that we don't necessarily see as spectators.
So Jonah was only in the box for 16.9 seconds, so he's gone for fuel and out, so he's now out ahead of Adam. So Adam looks like the only one so far that has pitted to tyres, so I'm intrigued to see how that goes. But Jonah now past Adam in the pit stops. So I was going to say, just before Sebastian let Elias through, that you were staring at the back of a Jeremy Clarkson giving you the good old loser signal, but now we're not. But that must be really annoying, because not only that, he's lighting that up for him to see himself. How frustrating.
Yeah, you're exactly right, my friend. But that's the great thing about these drivers, choosing their liveries quite wisely, isn't it? To play psychological warfare games with your peers, with your other racing comrades.
P2
and
pits.
3 drivers boxing. Yeah. So they're all coming in at once here. So we have a pit lane battle.
Who's Sebastian's flashing him in the pits. It's not like he can go any faster.
Yeah.
Limited.
He's looking for some screen time, my friend, some air time. The squeaky wheel gets all the oil, isn't that what they say?
Squeaky wheel, I like that. That's good. How long am I in the box then? About 6. That was a very pit. That's 13 seconds. Everybody else, that's a lot less fuel than others Niels has put in there, P2. Everyone else is doing 16. Leon's in the pits now as well. He's done 18 seconds, 14. They're putting less in than they did earlier. And also, no one's doing tyres. Kevin's in the pits too. Oh, it's Manic who's in the pits now. But 13, 18 seconds for Leon. No, sorry, Leon hasn't pitted that. That was his first stop. He's now P3. Interesting. Elias and Sebastian, have they swapped again? They have. So Elias has lost the position to Sebastian in the pit stop. Sebastian's pit stop was 6 tenths quicker. So he's put 6 tenths less amount of fuel. Actually, no, they're in different cars, so they could have put the same amount in. just the tanks are slightly different, maybe. Interesting. All the tanks. Oh, right, so all tanks same, but Ferraris. Okay, interesting. Maybe that might be why not many people took the Ferrari, because they wouldn't get to the end.
Leaders boxing. I was about to say our leader's probably got enough here. He doesn't have enough, I think, on the Ford running in P2, but he has enough to cover off everybody else. So he's electing to get it. He had a nice, 14-second gap, I believe there was, to the Ford currently running in P2. But will Dayton respond to that? He will. Dayton has. So that means that our Flying Finn should come back out ahead where he was, kind of has been dominating this race so far, because look at that, BMW is just too far down the road, 33 seconds away as he's coming into a parabolica now, and on the pit exit will be our Lamborghini driver. So yeah, for sure, back in and out.
13.1 was his stop, so he's put even less fuel in. Fascinated. Dayton's put 14.2 in. Where's he coming out? Where's Neil? Neil's is going to beat him out, I think. Yep, Neil's T stays P2. Also, no one has taken tyres but Adam.
Too long now, isn't it? The tyres will take you too much extra time. Yeah. And you're pretty much bunched up. You can see right now, which is great, that we're going to have a couple of little midfield battles occurring in the last 15 or so change of this race, which is what we want to see. I think the two-horse race at the front is just going to have their own thing. They're going to just be absolutely gone with it right now, aren't they? In clear air and just get on with it. But
Leon took
now
16.
The battle for the Beamers, isn't it? The battle for the BMW is here. There's 4 of them, and there's a Lamborghini in the mix of them.
Adams put himself in P10 by taking tyres, everybody else not. And everybody has now pitted at least 2 times, I think, unless maybe Scott might have to pit again. I don't know if he's pitted for damage at any point, but he's not pitting now, so I assume he's got the fuel to go to the end.
Any problem with the nighttime racing right now, you can't see the liveries at all. I'm not quite sure if, I think it'll end in the dark as well too, no doubt, because I don't think it's going to go into the dawn. No, it's...
Yeah. Here we go. I'm back to my point. So we're looking at the back of Sebastian, and he is lighting up Jeremy Clarkson, giving him the good old L. That is got to be frustrating. Look at that.
Can we go on board? Can we go on board with the?
And James May's face there, just for adding insult to injury. It's just there.
There he is. Can we do the hood cam or something like that? Perhaps. I think you can. I'm not sure if you have that one, so that we can see it a little bit closer. I guess. I think it's a hood cam. Bonnet cam. I forget, hood, bonnet, depending on what part of the
definitely
globe you're from. Yeah, here we go. See the guy. Oh, there we go.
I want to see how close he gets here. Go on.
Going to be on the heavy braking at turn 1 for sure. He's going to be definitely staring at Jeremy pretty closely right now.
Here we go. Pulls in. It's the brakes. Look at that. Lovely. Good old.
Oh!
That is.
Yeah, somebody clip that, please.
That's what you want to stare at for a race, isn't it?
And look at the power exit. You're so much more confident through there, isn't it? Just put the pedal to the metal, slap the gas pedal, and the car says yes, rather than saying no. New tyres, mate. Isn't that? That's what it's all about.
Jonah versus Kevin. Not sure how that's gone, whether Jonah's just passed Kevin. But they are close to P6, 2 Beamers. I'm not sure which way that's just gone. Maybe Jonah just passed him, but Kevin's lap times are quicker than Jonah, but Kevin is the car behind, so they're close to P6. Both in Beamers.
Yeah, and the Flying Finn's still flying away for 17 seconds, almost 18 up the road right now, just in a lonely race. Definitely got that win in the bag. He's only, he's probably listening to some Italian opera. Listening to some Finnish rock and roll, maybe. It's Finnish heavy metal. It's actually heavy metal bands.
Yeah, they enjoy that, yeah.
Yeah, there's some great Finnish heavy metal bands out there, guys, if you need to listen to. You might be listening to that right now while he's chilling in the cockpit of that car, sipping on some of that beautiful coffees here in Italy.
Adams just passed Leon for P9, so Adams' new tyres coming into effect. Oh, was that a spin from... No, it's a spin from Leon through Lesmo 1. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we're going to replay that one for sure, exactly. So here we go, on cue from our beautiful producer of Mr. Geza. Hooking it all up for us. And what's going to happen here? Too wide, isn't it? Yeah, bang. No traction out there, my friend. Especially not in the cooler temperatures at night time. Waits for the car to go higher, honestly. Gets the reverse. Beep, beep, beep,
Two
beep.
beams
Back
without
up.
contact in the parabolica. They've got away with it, but a slight tap. I think, I'm not sure who was ahead. I think Kevin's now ahead. They're sort of side by side, but I think Kevin tapped Jonah in the rear mid-corner and sort of put him off balance. Luckily, both getting away with it. But they're still side by side, and the move's not completed yet. You'd say Kevin's got the line to take it. And
Yeah, but has
does
he got
so.
the exit? He's got to stay on the outside here as much as possible. Get the power downs. Commit to the outside. Yes, he does. Yeah, if you try to cut that too much on the inside, you just get compromised by the exit speed. And he's got it. And you can just see a big mop of headlights right now on both of those cars as they're cruising their way around this track. Still 10 minutes now, business end of racing to come. So you want to get an overtake done. You need to get it done soon. Both of them hit the sausage. Both of them lift up that front left. It's carbon copies right now between these two gladiators. Anything can happen right now. One little tiny mistake and it could be all game over. Like right there, a little bit too wide, but then the car behind follows. It's a carbon copy, isn't it? Because what ends up happening is that your racing line becomes the car ahead of you.
Yeah.
Because you're so focused on them. You see it in regular motorsports all the time, don't you? When one car goes off, the other one also follows them identically through, and that's the trickiest part when you're following so close, because you can barely see your braking points. You can barely see the parts of the track where you need to turn in, turn out, and that's great, fantastic wheel to wheel racing. We're going to hopefully see another 10 minutes of this before the checkered flag. It almost feels like they're stationary, isn't it, at night time when they're down that main straight when the camera's looking directly at them. But trust me, they're not. They're flying at 300 kilometers per hour and excessive as they go through Parabolica for another time this evening, for the 28th time this evening, I believe. And once again, they line up a liner stone again into turn one. It's so dark out there right now.
Good defending from Kevin. Completely covered the inside line, forcing Jonah to go the long way around. Kevin actually breaks later. Is he going to make the corner? Whoever's in the background just turned their lights off.
Yeah, you can't get to that. Got into night vision mode, my friend. Put the night vision on, goggles on, and just go for it.
Look like I'm not sure if he did turn his lights off, but the lights from him in the background just disappeared. It's just a bit weird. But yeah, Kevin defending beautifully there. Just covered the inside line, forcing him to go a long way around. It's not going to work, especially in these long BMWs.
The flash and the high beams just to kind of throw the driver off, I guess, isn't it? As you spot your braking point, you see these lights flashing and you're just every little tiny tactical advantage you can right now to throw that opponent off so that you can get that position gain. Remember, they're only battling currently for P5. Well, not only. P5 is a great position, especially in an hour-long race with a lot of retirements already as well, from P14 all the way to P19. Oh, we just heard from the race director. 3 hours of Le Mans tomorrow, so damn, I hope they're going to shower after this race because they're going to get sweaty, sweaty, sweaty in one of the famous racetracks of the planet. And 3 hours of it is tough. Is that 3 hours in driver change or 3 hours you are the only driver? Yeah, we just heard from our beautiful producer that you have to have two drivers at least. So they'll get a little bit of a sweaty break.
But I think to say that I wouldn't want to do that. I'm pretty certain I'm doing that tomorrow. So, eating my own words, I don't really want to do that. Well, hang on, I am doing that tomorrow. But it doesn't sound advertising, does it?
But the beauty of that is that you guys know the endurance races are the ones. I mean, this is a semi-endurance race. It's an hour long, and Monza, which is a high-speed, Templar speed track. Yeah, that's full concentration all the way. Le Mans is a very similar track. Obviously, not as much, I'd have to say, concentration, but still, for 3 hours, you know how it starts to physically hurt you. It is a simulator, of course. You're not full in the G-forces and stuff like that inside a real racing car. However, force feedback, all the tools at your disposal, and sweating it out, it's endurance. It's psychologically tiring as well as physically tiring towards the end.
Made me tired thinking about it, which is great. So.
Yeah, sign up, guys. Definitely. Yeah. Come one, come all. Come on down to Any Store Racing. 3 hours of Le Mans. Could you imagine a better way to spend your Sundays?
Bit of a moment there for Jonah on the exit of the second Le Mans. A gap forms because of that, so Kevin's got a bit of breathing space there.
Does. Well, our leader's got a 20-second breathing space as well, too, just running away with this one. I was just wondering as well, too, what imagine a 24-hour Formula 1 race? That would just be a nightmare. Just imagine focusing. Yeah, if they'd made the cars, obviously, in a simulation world to handle that, but just the concentration levels at that, when you're doing, in Formula 1 cars, you'd be doing these lap times at what? 1 to 15s or something like that? I can't remember what it would be in Monza, but that's 1:15 per lap for 24 hours at that concentration level. Yeah, nightmare. It's harder, but then again, the Formula 1 game, as we know, is more of an arcade. This is a real simulator with real world conditions, real world feels of tires, fuel, every little bit. Track temperature plays. Look at this inside the cockpit right now. He's turned off that rear view camera screen because that thing would blind you, wouldn't it? Right now, try to focus on the track with that. He hasn't got any DVDs playing, obviously. He's not watching any red light, green light, Squid Game while he's driving this car around this track. Goes through a scurry, quite dark tinted windows. I don't know if you wouldn't have too much tinted windows right now, but very comfortable. He's done this to Flying Finn the whole time, hasn't he? If we could really tune in to listen to what he's listening to, what he's hearing inside the car while he's driving around, I guarantee it's probably some fantastic Finnish hard rock. Oh, helmet cam, here we go. Yep, there we go. On board, the Flying Finn, cool and relaxed. I'm sure he's going to be just like most of our fantastic Finnish drivers. Are lots of words, aren't they, when it comes to interviews? And they all across the board too, trust me. All the Finns that I know in esports racing that I regularly get to have interviews, just like Kimi Räikkönen. They're just like, they don't get as excited as I guess is what
well, they're going to lose their voice box, isn't it?
But they're quick. That's the thing. They're just quick. I think they put their money where their mouth is. They put their engine, their loud pedal where their mouth is, and just demonstrate how quick they are on track rather than talk about it. Yeah, he's just having a lonely race, isn't he? He's just got this one in the bag.
I think Alexis has had a moment. Alexis has spun. I'm not sure, in one of the Lesmos, I think it might have been. He's now dropped down to 12th place. Here it is. He's just...
Oh, it's okay. Stay on board with that one. I was going to say, yeah, he's just... you can see the rear brakes there glowing. So he's slapped that brake pedal as well, probably to try to control the car. Now reversing it back up there, waiting for these other cars to come around the corner as well. So there's another one. I guess that's the one great advantage of nighttime, isn't it? Is that because the headlights you can see from some distance, you can get an idea of grasping where that car is, so that you can make sure you get out of their way. Back on track there for the Frenchman, and he's got to cool those rear brakes down because they are glowing. Back to our race leader currently at the moment, the Finn now 21 seconds. He's been gaining about half a second every couple of laps, no problems whatsoever. From his neighbour in Norway, of course. I don't know if you ever guys have seen the Muppets before. From Sesame Street, around that, with the Swedish chef. There's a good thing about the Norwegians watching the Swedish chef and stuff like that, not understanding what they're saying, thinking that the Swedish chef the Swedish people not understanding what the Swedish chef is saying, thinking he's speaking Norwegian. Anyway, I have to show you guys that clip one day. Anyway, we're still going to focus on this racing at me for Any Story Racing. This has been a fantastic evening, night race here, hasn't it? In Monza, the Temple of Speed, for about an hour, 2 minutes to go for the road series. We have many more road series. When is the next road series coming up? With Christmas, right? Yeah, the GT3 Christmas series. Right there, yeah.
The 22nd of December. When that is the Watkins Glen as well. Would we have rain on in if they do release rain? Would rain be set up for the session? Okay, because oh my god, I can't
We're
wait
just
for
hearing
that.
from our producer out there, guys. Remember, guys, who you guys can't hear from our producer that's giving us that fantastic information. Yeah, possibly rain, I believe, for the race. Well, how do you guys get so excited about rain? You live in a country where it rains all the time.
Yes, well, that means I'm good at driving in the rain.
You
I
should be.
thoroughly
You live in a
enjoy
country
it.
where it rains.
Yeah,
Just...
I go quicker in the rain than I do. I don't know. I love it. It's something about it. It's better. So I
I
can't
think
wait
if you bring some snow, these two Scandinavians that are
They're
running
gonna
away
leave
with
us
this
all.
race would
Yeah.
love that one.
Yeah, they're gone. This country closes down when it starts snowing. Like, give it a little while. It's already started snowing this month. It could start closing shops and everything.
Here's a run. Where's it?
Who's
Oh
that?
no, it's just a back marker getting overtaken. Yeah, of course, because that's our race leader of Jesse. Just get on with it. The Flying Finn is absolutely flying. The Oreos are definitely paid off. So there you go, boys and girls out there. If you want a secret to success of driving a GT car around Monza quicker than everybody else, eat your Oreos for breakfast.
And be Finnish.
Yeah. It'd be Finnish. Well, that's why Finns finish first, right? Because they're finishing. That was bad.
That is brilliant.
Okay, one bad pun per stream. You know, that's what I'm famous for.
Hey, I was asking about what's the fastest flying insect, so...
They've already crossed the line. Yeah, white flag. So why are the drivers in red currently at the moment? Because they're on their last lap. Okay, fair enough.
Car we're on board with, yeah.
Yeah, they're a lap ahead. That's the reason why I just got a feedback there. Thank you very much. I'm still a noob when it comes to this, but I'm learning and I'm certainly having a lot of fun. So blue is a lap behind, red is a lap ahead, and yellow, white in the middle there. So yeah, it's basically a French flag or a United Kingdom flag or anything like that.
Oh, don't
Certainly
you
not
dare
a Finnish
say
flag.
that. No. Don't put the French
Dutch
or the
flag?
English together.
But not a Finnish flag. But don't worry about that because the Finn will be finishing first.
Put a
And he's
light
done
show on.
everything. Jesse, yes, why not, my friend? Discotheque all around. Coming around the final couple of corner here. Absolutely dominated. 23 seconds up the road here. Not a problem whatsoever. He's going to come home here and make the Italian Tifosi go absolutely ballistic because an Italian car in Lamborghini will win the race by a Flying Finn of Jesse. Congratulations. You've won the Road Series in Italy. Yeah, Wesley, you want to call there, Nielsy?
Well, Niels is going to take P2. A fellow commentator takes P2 in a Mercedes, which I got told was a boat. Brilliant result.
Right. A little bit further down the road, we have to wait there for Dayton. So from the other side of the pond there, the North American there, we'll get that Ford, of course. Well, of course, he's keeping with his fellow country car as well. And Sebastian will get that P4 there in the Merc. And a little bit further down the road there, you'll have the other Lamborghini to keep the Tifosi happy there of Elias there for the German of Stromae. Kevstar, and now the BMWs will start occurring. Remember, they were midfields, and they are midfields there. So you got Kevstar, the old Kevstar. We'll cross the line of P6 there. I think you got Johan Kalberg there in the other. He's a Swede as well, too. So really put the whole Scandinavians on the grid, aren't we? And then Dio and the other Lamborghini, or it's a Porsche actually. Porsche, yeah, get that right, 1 point. And then we got the other Mercs. Sorry, Mercs, BMWs.
Adam, which took tyres, the only one that took tyres in the end there, P9.
Leon, one of the not sole man, they're going to get points, of course, there. The other BMW will cross the line, and then just Scotty. Flash the light, that's exactly, mate. You've survived 1 hour of Monza. That deserves a reward any day of the week, regardless of what position you finish in. And then finally, Scotty for the Merc to cross the line. UK and Ireland, no doubt, for the Scot. For the Scot. He's not even Scottish. But he's from... It is part of the UK. Just don't tell them that. All right. That'll be it for your top 11 gladiators. And, of course, we have those retirements. What a cracking race. There you go. I'd like to go through those results there for us, Wes.
So Jesse took the win, followed by Niels in P2. Dayton took third in the Ford, followed by Sebastian in P4, then Elias in P5, followed by Kevin in P6, Jonah P7, Dio in the Porsche after having a bit of an incident at the beginning of the race, P8. Adam, only one to take ties at the second stop, takes P9, followed by Leon, which had one or two spins in P10. Scott had, I think, an incident early on in the race, but other than that, not too much as of note in P11. Alexis had a spin near the end in the Lesmos, taking P12. Followed then are the list of retirements. Elaine took P13. Callum, we saw earlier, have a big crash in the wall, continued for a little while, but eventually retired in P14. George, we heard from in P15, having to head home, takes 15th. Nick took 16th in the McLaren. Benny, sadly, having a crash earlier on and retiring in P17, followed by Stu in P18, which we saw have to retire very early on the race.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we should hopefully hear from some of these gladiators if we have time there. Obviously, we'll talk to our producer about that one if we can. I always want to hear from these drivers, especially after they do an hour. Yeah, obviously, give the guys a second to have a breather, cool down, a stretch, get some water. But we do have one of our gladiators already in the chat there, and I think that's Nielsy. Nielsy, welcome along.
Thank you.
So how was that P2, my friend, doing it there for the Scandinavian countries, just behind your neighbour, the Flying Fin of Jesse? But hey, solid P2 is fantastic. How did that feel?
Yeah, Jesse, really, what a race he had. He was so fast. Going into the race, the only practice I had was the actual practice session where I had to figure out what setup to drive as well. And I was trying 3 different setups out. And the one I ended up going with, I had to do some changes to. And I think like 10 minutes before quali started, I managed to get something dialed in that I liked. But it was horrible. It was a horrible drive all the way. Really had to concentrate and try to get the best out of that car.
You did. You did, obviously, considering you didn't really like the initial setup, but somehow it kind of worked. I think that if you probably were to have a chance to tweak it, you might have been able to get a little bit closer to Jesse. But you had a little bit of a few moments there with a couple of drivers behind.
Yeah, I had a great battle with Kevin earlier. No, Elias, sorry, early on. Where he come up into P2 again, taking it back after I took away from him in the beginning. Of course, it didn't really help that I was it a couple of laps before he overtook me. I went off in Desmo 2, touched the barrier, but luckily I didn't do too much damage to the car, so I managed to keep it alive, keep it in one piece, and catch up to Elias again.
You did. That you did. So overall, in the race for an hour, what did you find? What was some of the most difficult parts of the racing?
Definitely for me, the mental side of it. I didn't really like the setup, as I mentioned, so just having to kind of tell myself that I could just had to make it work out. And in the beginning, I think I had 15 incident points after the first half hour. So I was telling myself, okay, we're gonna get drive-through here. I need to consider that, take that into account, and let that be a part of my race. But I somehow managed to not get any more incidents and finished up with 15. So really a mental race, I would say. Of course, an hour is a long time to drive.
Yeah, obviously you're battling with the car, and I think you it sounded like to me you're fighting with the car at the start because you just weren't unhappy with the way it was, turning in, turning out,
Exactly.
the way it was responding, and then eventually just like, you know what, screw it, there's an hour I have to do. So if I don't get along with this car right now, she and I are going to be battling for the rest of the race. So I think you've just basically just given in. Of course, it's a she, so you always got to give in to the she. Let her win. So keep her happy, and that's obviously what you've done and finished in that P2. Congratulations. Are you going to be in that Le Mans 3-hour race tomorrow as well? You're going to sweat it out for that one?
I will be doing the Sebring 6 hours instead in the GTE.
Oh my God!
So,
all right. You like punishing yourself, don't you?
I do, especially when I'm sim racing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but talking about Le Mans, I don't really think the GT3 is a great car for that track. It's a bit too slow in my opinion. So I'd rather do the GTE and at Sebring.
Fair enough, mate. Each to their own, for sure. I'd rather be sitting in the commentary box eating ice cream, watching you guys sweat it out around track. So that's what that is. Well, having some pineapple pizza. Actually, I have a barbecue for everybody already later at the moment too. I fired up the grill, so make sure you come at the back of the pit lane garage and just down to the commentary area.
See if I can make it past the security.
Mate, just show them a picture of Biggles, you'll get past. So yeah, Niels. Anybody else that we're gonna have some interviews, or are we gonna wrap this one up?
Did you get to interview Jesse?
No, we would like to speak to our race winner, obviously.
Yeah.
You just hunt down Jesse, grab Jesse, pull him away from his team, like probably doing crowd surfing with his team right now down in the pit lane garage. See if we can drag him in here before he gets
Olivo, perhaps. I think he have something to say about this one. I think he had a tough race as well.
Get him in there. It's a 1 hour, man. We allow him a little bit of time to chill. You just jump straight in here immediately. You didn't even need to have a relax before we get ready to end the stream, so that these gladiators. Well, we need to give our producer, obviously, Mr. Geza, a bit of a breather, and Wesy needs a breather because Wesy's got to get ready for his race tomorrow. He's looking forward to in Le Mans. And guys out there,
thank you for having me.
Thank you. We loved everybody in the Twitch chat, obviously supporting us all the way there, give us all that juicy information. A few new followers as well there, Gez, right? Gez, you should come into the booth with us right now and speak up, our Mr. Producer, man behind Anti-Store Racing. Yeah. Give us the man behind all the production goodies. We've heard him before. He's commentated with me many times before.
Hello.
Just taking a breather so Wes and I can swing it out here in Italy for an hour, plus 30 minutes of qualifying.
Well, yeah, that was an interesting race. Really fun to do the cameras for that one. Just putting a bit of a rerun in the background there behind our lovely leaderboard.
Yeah, a lot of work, mate, isn't it, to do the whole... And fantastic catching all those replays there so we can pull it up, no doubt, and make sure we didn't miss any of that great racing entertainment. That's the awesome thing about iRacing, is that you got the flexibility of doing that sort of stuff. Any particular favourite driver today that you thought that really stood out? Apart, obviously, and I'd also like to ask everybody in the Twitch world, if you're still hanging out there for the interviews, which was your favourite livery for today on top of that?
Oh, that's a difficult one. I did really like Kevin's ASR livery. I think the colour is really good. And also I'm a bit biased towards ASR as well. Yeah, I really like that one. And obviously the Oreo livery being a classic. And yeah, George in the chat saying his own livery. Yep, very meaningful livery this week. So I'm sure everybody appreciated that one. Yeah,
I'd have to say that too, George, as well. I mean, that's probably the most symbolic. The other liveries are fantastic, but they apply all the time. George's livery was very specific, obviously, to the unfortunate passing of Mr. Frank this week. So might top that one just on the admiration that we had for one of the most passionate motorsports engineers, drivers, team principals of all time. I think that's it for the interviews. I'm thinking we're going to get anybody else.
Yeah,
Wes has got a little bit quiet. I think Wes has gone to get the drink. Is Wes back?
No, sorry, I was
Well,
taking screenshots of liveries that I enjoyed.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Yeah, well, yeah, that was a fantastic race, and I just want to thank everybody for showing up to view it. And yeah, if you guys want to take this away, I shall surely let you. Oh, we've got.
Do you have somebody real quick
There's
there?
someone.
Yeah. Who do we have? Welcome along, sir, to the interview channel. Is that
Thank you.
Jack Q? Your name, sir? You're driving when you finish everything?
P1.
Oh, it's Jesse.
You are. Oh, say Jesse. I'm just seeing your name on Discord. Is it? Yeah. Okay, Jesse. Congratulations, my friend. The Flying Finn has proven it. Flew your way all the way around Monza quicker than everybody else. Congratulations on the race win, mate. Explain
Thank you.
how it all went for you from start to end.
Well, I mean, the start was pretty good. It went pretty much as I expected, and I just tried to break the toe as soon as possible because I knew that I had way more pace than others, like at that point. And well, then I eventually got the toe out, and then it was just to keep it clean till the end.
A late pit stop I noticed that you guys were doing. I was a bit surprised, but you boxed and then Niels boxed, and I think some of the other drivers were you. I think some drivers could have maybe stayed out. I'm not sure how that strategy was going to pay off, but that was the only kind of thing I think was really threatened you all race long. Even if they did stay out, I thought you would be certainly under pressure to attack them immediately with fresh boots. You didn't elect, to get the fresh boots on just the fuel, right? Splash and dash towards the end?
Mm, I mean, no, I didn't really think of changing the tires because I kind of wanted to play it safe because the tire change would be like 40 seconds each, so I would have to gain like 20 seconds, so that would be a tough one, but it would also given you guys more content. So it would have also been good.
You're thinking about you're speaking about the spectators? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody changed. If I'm not mistaken, there Wes and Gez, nobody. I don't think anybody really risked changing tires towards the end because it would have cost them too much more on that pit stop.
Adam did. It cost him a good 20 seconds or so.
Aha. So, Jess, mate, you were lonely race really, and we were curious because we went on board with you a couple of times in the cockpit, looking at from your point of view. What are you listening to? Some Finnish rock music or so? What were you listening to in your cockpit when you were driving along just by yourself, chilling in the lead?
Some Eminem, some good old Eminem.
Some Eminem. All right. So the rap motivation was getting going.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So we like to hear that what the drivers are doing because when you're lonely at the front there, just relax. How was it too as the sun started setting here in Monza? Did it get a little bit more difficult at night time with the braking markers and things like that, or mental memory?
It is a bit more difficult, yeah, but I've done, I think, 24 hours here, so I think for me it's pretty good already. Like there isn't going to be much of a difference if it's going to be day or night.
Muscle memory at that point, mate. Close your eyes and you could probably drive a lap around with your eyes closed, considering how many times you've done it now.
Maybe.
What gear to brake and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, it proves today that I love your Oreo livery as well, my friend. Were you munching on some Oreos while you were driving around the track there?
No, I wasn't. I wish I had
is that the key? Are Oreos that little performance-enhancing boost that the drivers are getting? I don't know.
Maybe.
So, mate, fantastic. Are you going to be a part of the Le Mans challenge that's coming up tomorrow? 3 hours of it, Keza, if I'm not mistaken. Wes?
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. I'm not sure if I have the time for that at the moment, but I'll try to be there.
And you'll hopefully be around for the Christmas events that are coming up for the next racing. 27th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was the...
Second.
22nd. Yeah, we'd love to see you out there. Jess leading the race again, maybe, perhaps?
Maybe. I'll try to make it there.
Yeah, it'll be a Santa spirit too, mate, so you're going to have to replace those Oreos with some sort of Christmas livery theme, I guess.
Maybe.
It'll be spice it up there. Maybe some Finnish Santa Claus or something like that. I'm sure there is. You are from close to the North Pole.
Pretty close, yeah.
Have you seen the Northern Lights recently? I'm just actually real quick curious because wasn't there a recent solar storm or something that came out there? So if you're lucky enough to
days ago.
You did see it. There we go. Don't tell us, of course, one of the most spectacular events on the planet. You're like, nah, Northern Lights. I see it all the time. Fantastic. Well, mate, congratulations. Celebrate that race win around Italy. Good luck. Pineapple on your pizza, yes or no?
Nope, definitely not.
Definitely not. Then the Italians will love you, my friend.
Yep.
There you have it. So thank you very much. That's Jesse, our race winner. We heard from Niels in P2. So the Scandinavians are loving Italy, and the Italians love Jesse finishing in a Lamborghini. To at least because the Ferraris unfortunately did not perform too well today, but an Italian manufacturer still won the race. Wes, over to you, mate. Let's wrap it up.
So, after that hour-long race, which was absolutely fantastic, I cannot wait for the Christmas series powered by Major Garage. It's going to be fantastic, those 4 races over those 2 weeks. Can't wait to see all the cars in action once again. How big the grid is as well, of course, over Christmas should be great to see. This has been brilliant racing here on Friday nights. Next week, we are back to our regular ovals, this time driving the Dallara DW12s. The IndyCars are back. So it's 4 rounds of the IndyCars for the ovals. So we're at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the next round here at 7 on Friday night next week. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you then.